Living in the 21st century has numerous challenges that are both psychologically and physically draining. To counter these challenges and help relieve stress, humans have created different forms of entertainment, among these being comedy movies. Comedy movies are characterized by humor, and we express this through laughter. Laughter is a symbol that indicates happiness, that is, absence of stress, and feeling better about ourselves. Despite numerous movies out there, comedy movies are my number one choice due to their direct impact on one's health and mental state. The past few decades have seen movie directors incorporating comedy with other genres, but nothing else matters as long as laughter is involved. Everyone craves laughter, whether at home or at work. It is documented that regular laughter is associated with increased dopamine levels in the system that eventually contribute to better growth and development and long and healthy lives. For these and other reasons, everyone is willing to pay the extra $5 or $4, buy a lot of popcorn and sit in their preferred row at the center of the theater to ensure they don't miss any moment of comedy movies. Comedy movies also make people feel relaxed, especially after stressful events or when they are extremely exhausted. Comedy film directors enhance this by using the three-phase humor model. The first phase of humor tends to have a situation set up, the second an action or expectation set up, and the last expression of opposite or unexpected ending. The final phase of a comedy movie stimulates the brain to release neurohormones, endorphins and dopamine, that induce laughter. Curiosity is a common human aspect that is both a function and an emotion in the brain that arises on the release of dopamine. Comedy movies are developed in a way that new and interesting topics that induce curiosity are presented often. This results in an increased dopamine release as the person elevates their desire to know more about the unknown. In the long run, it becomes a habit within the context, making the brain continuously release more dopamine, leaving the person in an exploratory mindset. Other than the psychological impact of comedy movies, we also tend to get the concept of morality. However, most of the morals are usually useless and not necessarily applicable in our daily lives. A great example is in the movie Me, Myself and Irene, where the main character gets the love of his life, and they get married and live happily. However, as the movie progresses, the main character identifies another girl he considers important and non-separable from him and stops her from leaving despite being married to Irene. We learn from this movie that whenever we feel that we love someone dearly, we should never let them go without telling them or expressing our love to them. As much as this moral is relatable to us, it is not of great value in our daily life. We can never overlook the aspect of instilling knowledge through comedy. Comedy provides humoristic content that educates us and broadens our thinking scope and instills an optimistic mindset. One terrific movie is the kid film by Charlie Chaplin that revolves around an adopted kid who works together with the tramp in a loving yet financially constrained environment. It also demonstrates true love from strangers as well as motherly love that never ends. Comedy movies are more common among people aged 30 years and above. This is the age group with huge responsibilities and stressful moments in trying to ensure work-life balance. People in this class tend to focus on more instant and realistic entertainment, giving them that sense of happiness as they interact with their colleagues. What else should they ask for if not comedy movies? The new methodology of combining genres in different films has gained immense popularity. This is done to ensure the expansion of the audience and increment of sales of different films. One unique genre mix is comedy and horror in one film. Who knew that people would ever laugh from seeing other people suffer in amusing ways at some point? As is known, both horror and comedy movies are developed on a similar structure, that is the execution of increasing tension, accurate timing, and an eventual big payoff. The payoff in comedy is usually laughter, while in horror movies, it is the increased tension, fear, jumping, or screaming. In horror comedy, the two reactions are combined, and the films tend to be both physically and mentally involving. For some people, this combination is more entertaining and alluring. As a matter of fact, the horror comedy genre is considered the most popular genre of the 21st century. One might ask, won't the thrill and fear instilled on a person outdo the humor in the horror comedy movie? The truth is that in such movies, the director usually ensures that the target audience is too busy laughing that they forget to be scared. Out of nowhere, the scary scene pops up, and the cycle begins again. One great mixed-genre movie with comedy is The Army of Darkness by the celebrated Sam Raimi. Other than the humoristic aspect of comedy movies, people watch comedy movies to spend their time amongst their loved ones. Watching comedy films, as mentioned earlier, raises dopamine and endorphin levels which help build relations with others. We feel more energized and connected while around them when we have happy moments together and remind each other of the beautiful scenes in the movies. Additionally, the excess free time spent watching movies helps reduce the anxiety involved with huge workloads and strict deadlines. The brain is left recharged and ready to counter the next task at the end of it all. People live lives with the desire to be loved and liked. This is relatively easy when someone's sense of humor is at an all-time high. Watching many comedy movies, you develop a strong sense of humor that makes people attracted to you and always around you when used frequently. Other than this, comedy serves the purpose of making one happy and energetic as it lifts one's heart and soul. What is the best way of renewing your energy? The best answer to this is by engaging in an activity that will improve your emotional, mental, and physical status, and among all the available options is watching comedy movies. Comedy movies impact the conscious and subconscious mind, making one feel fresh and alive. All the sadness is avoided, all stress is forgotten, and a fresh mindset is installed to handle problems in new dimensions. With all the above reasons, it is clear that comedy is a thing of the 21st century. Everyone should watch at least one comedy movie or show a week. Who doesn't want to be happy or laugh? This and many other essays are available at studycorgi.com.